Boys and girls, we are in the final throes of this save. Operation Win Everything, so we can start the new savers in full flow. We are top of the Premier League-ish. I've just glanced down and we're not. We sort of are. We're in the semi-finals of the Moose Cup. We're going to qualify in the top 8 of the Champions League, and the FA Cup hasn't even started yet. But regardless of all that, we're winning everything. 4 trophies to win this year, and they've all got my name on them. We were top of the league as well when I took the picture for Twitter, but I've hit continue a couple of times, and Manchester City have played a football match, I guess, and probably won it. They've played earlier today. We're the evening kickoff. So City beat Southampton, have gone temporarily top of the league. We're about to solve that problem, though. We're playing Brighton. Let's go and do a football against them. Ba, 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 ba. Soft play is definitely not just a British thing. Exactly. If it is, I'm taking it to the rest of the world because I'll make my fortune exporting soft play. The Americans would lap it up. I was in a little miniature soft play on a ferry to France when I was a kid and just threw up at the top of a padded slide, and the sick just went all the way down the slide. I get seasick, any kind of travel sick, really. I don't know what my parents were thinking, getting us on the overnight ferry rather than the Eurotunnel. And not only that, rather than just letting me sleep, feeding me and then sending me into a soft play area. In German, it's mostly called Spielparadies, play/game paradise. That sounds brand namey. Just call it soft play. Bring the word soft play to the German language. They'll appreciate it. You can even German it up if you want. They're called play centres in Ireland. What a boring thing to call them. How boring. He's saying some don't. I've never seen one without a pub. I mean, the ones that are specific things for children don't have a pub attached. We'll be taking Andy to one on Friday. There's one in Northampton he likes to go to. The one in Market Harborough has laser tag. I didn't know there was one in Market Harborough. I don't want to do that all year. I didn't mind doing it during launch period. Launch period is officially over. So now we'll probably do 2 or 3 nights a week and then 2 or 3 afternoons a week streaming. And it'll just, there won't necessarily be a schedule to it. There'll always be Sunday night. If I'm streaming on a Sunday, it'll always be in the evening so we can do late night love. But the rest of the time, it'll vary. I suggest keep an eye on Twitter to know exactly what time I'm streaming. That's your best bet. Can I point out we're absolutely smashing Brighton here, 4-0 inside the first 38 minutes. Beautiful stuff. My pillow eventually inflated last night, by the way. I should have brought it back down here. Wonderful. Oh, it really does enhance the position. I buy all the young players who fit my system. Yeah, that's how I do it. And that's what I enjoy. I'm much happier watching David Crammond, who we signed from Burnley in the Championship when he was 19 years old. I'm much happier watching his career develop alongside Francesco Di Sabato, who we signed when he was 19, 20 and has now won a World Cup. And these are now 2 of the best strikers in Europe. I'm happy just watching them do their thing. I don't need to do anything fruity with the tactics. And I don't mind if some of the goals they score are because the goalkeeper passes it directly into their path. Because as far as I'm concerned, that stuff just evens itself out. So I'm not really bothered. If it only happened either in favour or against the human player, then it would be more of an issue. But it just all evens out anyway, so I just don't care. Old kerfuffle last summer, because the local farmers have basically been getting turd and watering it down so it can basically be sprayed out of a sprinkler and just driving around doing sprinkle turds all over their fields. And that stuff stinks. It's the 3rd of January and I have my window open. Yeah, I'm in a tiny room with lots of electronics in here. The radiator is off and my window is open. This room gets hot. This room is always hot. Statistics that indicate that more people have bought it than ever before. More people are playing it than ever before. More people are still playing it at this point of the year than ever before. It keeps throwing out all these statistics. So I can only assume the vast, vast majority of people playing Football Manager are enjoying it. I enjoyed that the match ending is less predictable from the 200 hours I've played. Like that not every tackle in the box, someone falls over. I think, I mean, that's what we were talking about when it first came out. People liked the chaos. Chaos was the buzzword for the first week of the beta until people started getting upset with it. The big feedback I remember seeing early on was how everyone was loving the chaos. Now everyone hates the chaos. You absolutely don't have to react to it the same way others do, but suggesting their feelings aren't valid isn't very fair. I've not suggested anyone's feelings aren't valid. At what point, when did I say anyone's feelings weren't valid? I think their feelings are valid. I just think they're a very small minority. That doesn't mean their feelings aren't valid. It just means that I think there are people who are that group of people are a lot more vocal than the size of the group would indicate, I think is the fairest way to phrase it. There are consistent errors across tactics, styles, and teams. Yeah, but who cares? Like a tiny number of people care. That's what I mean. You've just said only a tiny amount of people care, so it's not relevant. I didn't say it's not relevant. I said a tiny amount of people don't care. I've said only a small amount of people care. I didn't say that means it's not relevant. It's just, it's not. I don't know that it's necessarily a majorly high priority for Sports Interactive. Maybe it is. But I think if I'm running Sports Interactive, I probably pay more attention to the data that I'm getting from Steam and from Epic about play times and purchase numbers. And I'm paying more attention to that than people moaning on Twitter. And if what they're saying is true, and to be fair, I've not seen them say it for a little while. I know Miles is having a little bit of time off at the moment, so maybe it'll be something that is revisited when he's back. But the general messaging from Sports Interactive that I've seen, and I don't like have their notifications on or anything, I don't see everything they put out, but the general messaging has been they've sold more than ever before and more people are playing it than ever before, and there's been more hours played than ever before, which would indicate it's the most popular game they've ever made. And that because people are continuing to play it, they're still enjoying it. So they're obviously doing something right. General Mr. Member of the Public who thinks it's fine. It's the best game SI have made regardless of everything wrong with it. And I'm inclined to agree with that, yeah. I personally last played FM19 and now again FM23. This version is a vast improvement. Exactly. And they're the kind of comments that I'm seeing, but they're not loud because being vaguely positive about the game isn't as hysterical and it's not as controversial as going out there and being really negative about the game. So it gets less people riled up. Like, I don't know. The negative minority are louder than the people enjoying the game. Yeah. But that's always the case in everything, isn't it? That's not unique to Football Manager or gaming or football or anything. Squad Planner is the only thing I don't like. See, I was very much in the I don't like the Squad Planner, the first 20 transfer windows I did with it. But the more I do, the last couple of transfer windows, especially non-League to Legend transfer windows, and I think you would have seen it on the last one on stream as well, I'm really starting to use it a lot now they've fixed it. Now trialists go straight into it. I'm going to say this quietly so I don't upset too many people. I actually think the Squad Planner is quite good. Now it works. I do think it's quite good. That's our boy. That's the guy we're signing, isn't it? Herculano. He's just won South American Footballer of the Year. Is that Young Footballer of the Year? No, just South American Footballer of the Year. He's 18 years old and we've already got him signed. He's already made his Brazil debut. Oh, what a wonderful thing. The conveyor belt continues.
Yay!
Herculano.
Why is that in here?
Why is what in here?
Why have you got a full kitchen roll in here?
For cleaning up messes when I spill drinks.
Yesterday, you're like, and you've got a full one there.
Anna's here, by the way. She's yelling at me. I don't know if you can hear her. Oh, he's going to be good, isn't he? There's no room in our team for him. But we'll try and fit him in somehow. He arrives. He arrives tomorrow. We get to meet Herculano. There he is. He's in. Hendrik can welcome him along. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you Herculano. We might just make him into a midfielder. Are we going to Burgess this boy? He's already an accomplished Mazzala. Right, we have pathetically low offers for Jones. He's not going out on loan for less than his salary. Let's offer him out. He can go out on loan with full salary paid, or we'll sell him for 25, 30 million. But no one's having him cut price. I mean, has anyone actually made an offer? Oh, there we go. There's the offers. See, that's quite a nice offer. That's an actual £29 million offer. I think I prefer that. Does he want to go there? So I don't mind if he goes out on loan. Let's see if we can get anyone else to try and offer for him. He wants to go to Monaco. Don't care. Go where I tell you to go. Imagine thinking you get a choice, Ernest. You'll go where I tell you you're going. Right, we should get a first look at Herculano today. Newish FM player, been having a few issues with work permits lately. How do you avoid trying to sign players that will fail the work permit? Or I approach them, it doesn't really give a warning they need one. If you approach them via their agent, it will. When you do that agent approach, it gives you an indication of whether they're likely to get a work permit or not. You're making my point for me. Thank you. If we could get a decent manager in, we would storm it. Luke Kennedy, thank you for the prime. Silas. A documentary on Sky was why Darren McAntony bought the club. He watched that and was like, I'm going to buy that club. And saved us. Brought in Fergie as manager, brought in all of the... I mean, the original transfer policy, it was genius. We just signed all the best players in non-league. Went out, spent £1 million, got George Boyd, Craig McCall-Smith, Aaron McLean, various others. Just hoovered up the best talent from non-league and then kept doing it. Speaking as a former teacher, how on earth do you know who your teacher was dating? How does that come up? That's not something I would ever let my students find out about. They just walk in and say, oh, by the way, I'm dating Britta Sombalonga. That just seems like such an insane thing for a teacher to talk about. Just follow them on social media. But they're not supposed to have open social media. A French teacher in secondary school was married to my dad. Well, I guess you probably had some inside knowledge then. Someone overheard her talking about it with another teacher. Wow. Celtic making an offer for Jones, but it's not enough money. So we'll say no. Oh, that's a big offer for Patrick. After we ruined his move to Real Madrid a few years ago, he's now been here 5 years and he's our backup left back now. That is a lot of money, but I can't be bothered to go and find another left back. Tell the Jimmy Bullard story. What, the Jimmy Bullard's afraid of me because he ran away? I mean, it's not much of a story. Anyone who's not, I mean, I imagine most of you have already heard it. I mean, we're going back 20 plus years now to when Jimmy Bullard was a youngster playing for Posh. And I saw him in the centre of Peterborough going to the cash machine at the post office. And he was just getting some money out, as you do. And from across the street, I just yelled, Jimmy! Because I wanted to see it. I wanted to say hello to him. Don't know why I didn't walk. I guess it was one of those things. You can't really walk up to him when he's at the cash machine and just say hello, because that's weird. But I wanted to get his attention. So I just yelled from across the street. Because then at least I'm not trying to rob him or look at his pin or anything, am I? But he just legged it, just ran away, finished up at the cash machine and legged it across Cathedral Square. He was done and away. Right, this is the semi-final of the Moose Cup. Normally we would play the reserves, but it's Spurs, and I can't risk Chris doing his lovely little edits. Plus, we want to win everything, don't we? We're winning everything this season. That includes the Moose Cup. That's a caribou. What's the difference? What's a carabao then? It's the board's fault. Of course, the club finances are the board's fault. Who else's fault is it going to be? They set the budgets that I stick to. An energy drink. I mean, an energy drink is not a thing, though. It's named after something. Carabao. I mean, they even have a moose on their logo. Telling me that's not a moose. That's a moose. It's the Moose Cup. Their drink is named after a moose. Yeah. Is a buffalo a moose? Yeah. I'm seeing the word yes in there. Oh, we did a football goal. Carabao is an animal that is not a moose. Disagree. As soon as you put Celtic and Rangers in the English leagues, they would die. They'd lose the lure of European football. They'd get financially more stable. Oh, yeah, exactly. Not being in Europe would be a big problem for them. They'd just be Sunderland. That's all. I mean, they're just teams with big grounds up in the north. They're just Sunderland. So they'd bobble around doing Sunderland things for the rest of their lives. Redundant argument. Scottish teams won't play in English leagues. If you allow that, the domestic leagues as a concept will fail, as the rest of Europe will be mixing and matching too. Well, we've already got Welsh teams in our league. So that doesn't really make sense, does it? If the top 4 leagues changed, so it was UK-wide, how many clubs from anyone but England would actually make it? 2. Rangers and Celtic. I mean, unless you're counting, like, Cardiff and Swansea, in which case 4. But they're already here, obviously. But Peter in the Scottish Premier League and see how quickly they win it without Celtic and Rangers. I don't think it'd be many years to win it with Celtic and Rangers. Might win it initially, but once their good players leave and it becomes more even across the leagues, then English teams will be no better than now. But yeah, but I mean that's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? We're not talking about if you take all their players away, which team would be better? Well, there's no way of knowing without their players, is there? The thing that makes a football team good or not is their players, not their ground, not their fan base, not the colour of their kit. Who has the best players is how you decide who the best football team is. We have made it through to the Moose Cup final, beating some nothing team of nobodies. And we are going to be playing Wolverhampton Wanderers in the final. That will be trophy 1 of 4 this season. We're going back down. I've stood up for too long. The other thing working with an existing creator does is it also gives you a bit of an insight into how much work is involved. It might be enough to put you off the idea of ever doing it professionally. Because of the sheer number of hours that get put into it. It's not something you can really do part-time. Launch month of FM23 was mostly Civ. It was not. There was 2 Civ streams with Zealand. That was it. Get switched. What about It Takes Two again with Anna? Don't think I'm ever going to get her back on that. Although she has agreed to the couples gaming living room, even without us moving house. We've kind of, after much discussion on Twitter and here over the last few days, we've kind of decided we're just going to stay here for as long as we can have our cheap rent. So the dream living room we were going to set up at the new house, we're going to do here once Andy moves out. So as soon as he's moved out, new sofa, second TV for the living room. We're going to have our couples gaming setup in there. It's going to be amazing. And we might actually finish it, but it won't be on stream because she'll kill me. Andy moving out mean less FM content if I'm going to be traveling. No. No. I could travel for 2 weeks of every month and still get daily content out. It might affect streams, but I'm not going to be traveling for 2 weeks of every month. My point is I could easily do a month of daily FM videos in a couple of weeks. So, I mean, it might affect streams, especially during the summer, but then I tend not to stream as much during the summer anyway. Streaming might become a little more seasonal. What do you do with Dave when you guys just be popping about here and there at the weekends? I guess he'll go to kennels. Or come with us, depending on where we're going. It'd be great to get more in-depth look at how you organise your finances. As you seem very organised and logical when it comes to managing money. I think it's... yeah, I mean, there's really not much to it. It's pretty simple. When money comes in, about a third of it, roughly, goes straight into my tax account. And then whatever's left, I split in half. Half goes into a savings account. Half goes into my current account. And my current account has got a few other little, like, short-term savings pots attached to it. And the savings account, the money doesn't stay in there very long. It usually then goes off into various investment accounts. But yeah, it's all pretty much automated. Because the income is variable, the numbers always vary. But yeah, I guess any time any money hits my bank account, it's split three ways. A third into the tax account, a third into the investment stuff, and a third into the current account. So I only spend a third of what I earn or half of my take home. If we concede a goal here, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be sad here, and oh, come on then. Do a football. We're still going to concede a goal. Please don't concede a goal. For goodness sake. Pickle my onions. So we need to do tactical changes. We need to go attacking and we need to demand more. They count as tactical changes. That's as tactically advanced as we ever feel the need to get. Oh my word. He's just tackled him about 3 minutes before the ball got there. What's he even thinking there? The one time we play Nelson at centre-back as well. Beretta's going to have to play right-back, which theoretically he should be able to do. He's a defensive midfielder who can also play right midfield. You would think he'd be able to cover at right-back if need be. What can we get Kev ranting about so he stops paying attention to the game? Exactly. You lot have stopped distracting me, so I'm concentrating on Football Manager, and look at us, we're losing again. Predictions for the Royal Rumble. I am so out of touch with WWE, I don't know. Presumably Cody Rhodes wins it, doesn't he? Right, Newcastle. Never heard of them. Can't imagine a team called Newcastle will ever amount to anything or ever be any good at football. There's your confirmation that we finished top 8 in the Champions League. Beautiful. Our 4 strikers. It's still January. We've got one on 27 goals, one on 25. So that's 27 from 22 starts, 25 from 19 starts, 15 from 18 starts, 12 from 17 starts. If you add in assists as well, David Crammond at the moment has 41 goal contributions in 22 starts. And he's averaging a 7.88 for the season. That's quite good, isn't it? And the thing is, Erling Haaland's still going to be top scorer in the Premier League. That's what we're up against. Oh, my word. We've just looked at how good Crammond and Disabato are. And then there's Haaland, just the 11 goals ahead of them. What am I supposed to do? Are we rumoured with what now? So the rumour is we're going to sell all of our strikers. I mean, we're top of the Premier League. And the rumour is we're going to sell all of our strikers. I'm not an expert. I would suggest this is an unlikely outcome for this deadline day. Surprised you didn't hear it. There was quite the kerfuffle out there because there's a big pile of boxes outside my office at the moment because the recycling bins are full. So he basically leapt over the boxes, and when I caught him, I didn't like catch him and keep him. I caught him and kind of dropped him onto the pile of boxes. I swatted him out of the sky, basically. Did the doorbell pick it up? No, this all happened inside. Should we see how Ernest Jones the Jeweler's getting on in the Bundesliga? Ripping it up, as you would expect, in a Farmers League. Against Newcastle. And if there's one thing I know about Tuesday, the 3rd of January 2023, I have a lot of success in football matches at home to Newcastle. It's just kind of the theme of the day. So this is going to be good. Nothing can go wrong at home to Newcastle in any match today. It'll be right. Happened to Costa. He's got the flu. He'll be back soon. He has missed like 3 or 4 matches now. We could really do with him coming back. Oh, Big E. He's such a big boy, isn't he? I do like his size. Oh, that's hideous. Well, that didn't go to plan. Boys and girls, we are going to wrap things up there. As today's raid, those of you who remember the afternoon streams of old, we're raiding my YouTube channel. I suggest you all go and have a tinkle, freshen up your beverage, do whatever else you want to spend 9 minutes doing, fill your boots, and then 4 o'clock sharp, I expect you all back at youtube.com/LOLLUJO